Hello student, today we are going to learn what is casting, what is founding, or what is molding. Founding or casting is a process of forming metallic product by melting the metal, pouring it into the mold cavity known as mold, and allowing it to solidify. Okay, when it is removed from the mold, it will be of the same shape as the mold. First, we make a pattern. Pattern is duplicate of product with slight bigger in size to give different allowances such as contraction allowance, machining allowance, draft allowance, etc. Next, make a impression or cavity on wet sand. Next, pouring molten metal into the mold cavity. Next, allow to solidify. Next, remove from mold cavity. Okay, now step by step procedure for making a sand casting. What is the step by step procedure of a sand casting? Okay, step 1. This is the product or component part. Figure A. Make a pattern of the desired product. Next, the pattern is made slightly larger than the product size. In pattern, add contraction or other allowances. Okay. Step 2. This is the pattern plate. Pattern is placed on pattern plate. This is the pattern. This is the locating pin. Figure B. Place the pattern on a flat wooden or metallic plate. This plate is called pattern plate. Okay. Now step 3. This is the figure C. On the pattern plate, place a square or rectangular lower part of the molding box around the pattern. This is the a square or rectangular box. This is the lower part of the molding box. This is called dug. It is placed on the pattern, around the pattern. Next, fill the space around the pattern completely with molding sand by suitably ramming it. Next, we fill this space with molding sand and ramming it, compact it. Okay. This assembly is termed as dug. This assembly is termed as dug. This is the lower part of the molding box. Okay. Now, step 4. Figure D. In previous figure, the molding box position just turn or rotate the dug, the lower portion of the molding box, through 180 degree, just opposite. Next, remove the pattern carefully by taking every precaution not to damage the molding cavity. Okay. Make a channel. Make a channel means this channel. This is called gate in the sand to provide a passage through which the molten metal can flow into the mold cavity. We make a channel. This is called gate and this is called sprue oil. Okay. Now, step 5. Figure E. Then take upper portion of the molding box. This is separate portion of the molding box. Take upper portion of molding box and a pattern plate. This is the pattern plate. Pattern plate identical to the previous, that is used in dark portion. This is the cope portion of the molding box. Okay. Place 2 tapered wooden plug. This is tapered wooden plug in position so that one will be aligned to the feeding in the gate in the dug. One is attached to the gate and the other will align with the main molding cavity. Okay, this is the separate portion of the molding box. This is identical with previous portion of the molding box. This is the upper portion of the molding box. This is called cope. Two wooden plug. This wooden plug for sprue. This wooden plug for rise are used or placed, and the space, this space is ramped with sand. Okay, this portion is filled and ramp up the molding sand. Ramp up means compact the molding sand in the box. This total assembly, this assembly is termed as cope. This is the upper portion of the molding box. This is termed as cope. Okay. Step 5. Now step 5. Remove the two plug from the cope carefully. These two plug
remove from the cope carefully.
Okay.
Two tapered holes are thus formed in the ram or compact sand. In molding sand, in compact sand, two taper holes in this way form. The one which will align with the feeding in gate, which is attached with feeding the gate, called the sprue, will be used for pouring the molten metal into the mold cavity. Okay, this hole is used for pouring the molten metal into the mold cavity. Okay, the other hole which will align with the main mold cavity is called riser. Okay, this other hole which called riser is attached with the mold cavity, main mold cavity. Okay, and also make several fine holes called vent in the sand body, in the molding sand, so as to facilitate escape of air and gases. Okay, other many fine holes are produced in this way. These are for escape the air or gases. Okay, now step 6. Now the upper portion cope is placed on the lower portion dark. Okay,
Now in figure F, this is the figure F, gently place the cope, this portion is cope, above the dug. Correct alignment between the two halves of the mold. Upper portion is cope and lower portion is dug. Properly align the two halves. Clamp with locating pin here. Okay. Here firmly clamp with the use of locating pin. This is the locating pin. This is the locating pin. The interface between the cope and the dug is called parting line. This is called parting line. Okay. In step 6, this is the cope portion, upper portion of the molding box. This is the lower portion of the molding box. This is called dug. This is called cope. In upper portion, molten pouring cup. Molten metal is pouring in this hole. This hole is called sprue, and this hole is called riser. This is the gate. This is gate. This is the casting. This is the parting line. This is the locating pin. Okay. Now step 7. Pour or pouring molten metal into the mold cavity through the sprue hole and continue to do so until the rises sufficiently in the riser hole. Next, allow the metal to solidify and cool. Pouring the molten metal sufficiently through the sprue until sufficiently fill up to the riser. Okay. Next, it is solidify and cool. Okay. Next, step 8. This is the final casting. In step 8, bake the mold and taken out the casting. After taken out the casting, this is the figure of the casting. Now cut off the runner and riser with a chisel. Cut this portion and this portion and this portion. Okay. Now remove any sand striking to the surface of the casting. After cutting, this is the final casting. The striking sand remove from the surface of the casting. Okay. Next, this casting, the casting is now ready to be sent for inspection, heat treatment or machining if needed. It is clear, my student, step by step procedure of a sand casting. Okay,